Government cheese, government cheese, government cheese. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in for another amazingly fun episode of the Government Cheese Podcast. My name is Mark, and I got big sister Kathy rocking and rolling tonight. Kathy, what's happening, girl?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How
I'm
you
doing
doing?
good, man. You know what? I'm doing fucking better than the guy that I just saw on TV who was stealing fucking copper wires from the fucking church, man. I
Well,
mean, you know what? I think every day is going to be a good day
it's
when
a
you
good
don't have to steal fucking copper wires from a church. And just at least you got food in your belly, clothes on your back,
and
roof
don't have,
over your head, and you don't have to steal fucking copper wires from a church air conditioning vent.
did he
So,
get caught? Did he get caught if they saw him?
well, no, I just saw on the news they fucking up here they just had
Oh, it was on.
they had this guy. He's walking. Okay, let me paint the picture for everyone at home
Okay.
and big sister Kathy. So it's on the news, and this guy, he's probably look maybe 5'1", 5'2", a good maybe 330 pounds, and he's walking down with some old cut off jean shorts, a really nasty mustache, and a lit cigar or a lit cigarette, probably a good old menthol in his mouth with some kind of baseball cap and some oversized like fucking like high top sneakers, and he's walking around like, hey man, and he's just walking around. Like they got him on security cameras with these fucking copper wires in his hands after he just stole them. He's walking around. He even starts staring at the fucking camera. He stares at the camera. He just stares at that fucking camera. And they're like, and the priest's like, well, we'll live, forgive and forget. And he's like, they just see him walking off like he's strutting like a man with purpose, baby. He's just rolling with no care. He didn't even try to hide the fucking copper wires in his jacket.
He
He
got him.
fucking just,
He's got him some six pack money. Ooh, he may
he's
even
got him
got him
some.
a case. A
I
case.
mean, hey, I don't know what copper's going for these days. I haven't checked, and I don't know however many never years of how much a piece of copper costs. But this guy, he just was walking around, didn't even run, just walking, smoking his cig, doing his thing, and
Uh,
and just
more power to
bullshitting.
him, brother. If don't I don't condone stealing, but hey, I mean, if the priest is willing to forgive and forget, might as well.
Well, Kathy, next time someone needs to steal some copper wires, they can just come to your house and say, "Hey, Kathy, where's the nearest air conditioning vent so we can steal some fucking copper wires from your place?" So, I mean, hey, why not?
Sure, why not?
Let's just. Hey, why don't
Forgive
you
and
go over to
forget.
why don't you go over to good old Lonnie's house over there? Yeah, he's been a real prick to me, but I don't think he needs his air conditioning this summer. He might have some good fucking,
Oh, there you
copper
go.
wires. You know what I mean?
There you go. I bet he
That
does.
that might be an interesting like website. Like, hey, I got a real prickly neighbor. If anybody wants to go steal their copper wires out of their air conditioning unit,
And we're gonna tell you how to do it and not get
oh,
caught.
we'll just say, hey, there's the prick's house. There's the address. Go sniff around for a couple, you know, small little butts of bud or some little menthols, some little Carolina classics or something, man. Fuck that noise, dude. Yeah, man. Oh. So I think we're living pretty damn good
We
if we
are,
ain't got to
Mark.
go and do all that. You know what I'm saying?
We're
I'm down
living,
here.
we're
Oh hell yeah, I'm down here in the basement, just
chilling.
rocking and rolling, chilling, rocking and rolling, and got to have surgery tomorrow, which is gonna be fucking fun. That's not gonna be
It's on
fun
your
at
knee,
all.
right?
Yeah, it is. I got too many stupid things as a kiddo with sports and just being silly with the knees, basketball primarily, football, little
Doing
wrestling, little jujitsu, doing the damn
soccer.
thing, and soccer especially. Oh, that was another one. Yeah, man. So it was interesting. So they got to do a little clean out, little clean out, little strip and buff, in there, just give it a
I'll
good shine.
send you some good vibes going your way, brother.
Well, hey, it's all I can ask for. I appreciate the good vibes, the good prayers, and a whole lot of propofol. They're gonna give my ass to go to sleep. So I look at it as, hey man, I'm getting a good nap out of this thing. So
You do.
probably gonna be the best sleep I've had in a little while. So and
I had a
I'll come out of it, man, with a big old bandage on my knee and hey, feeling kind of loopy. So hey, Nurse Ratchet, what do you got for dinner?
I know I had a colonoscopy done a couple years ago, and they tried to wake me up afterwards. I said, "Can you just let me sleep just a little bit longer?"
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've had those colonoscopies. I'm like, you've cleaned me up. I've had some sleep. Let me just keep me going, baby. Let me just let me sleep. I mean, that is some deep sleep. That is like meth head, crackhead standing up or bent over, half over kind of sleep that will he sleep through fucking a bus honking its damn horn, and those motherfuckers won't even move. They are asleep.
I know.
Asleep.
It's
So,
awesome. I would do it every day if I could.
I mean, that is some good sleep, man. I'm telling you, after a colonoscopy right there, I'm telling you, man, I woke up, I was like, hey, let's go run a marathon. And then I realized I ain't running no motherfucking marathon. Screw that shit. But it's some good old sleep.
Oh, yeah, and the buzz afterwards, it takes a little bit for the buzz to wear off.
I ain't mad at that little buzz. It's kind of
I
like a
ain't mad
little,
at the buzz.
it's happy sauce. You know what I mean? I don't use or abuse those drugs, but I'm just telling you, man, that happy sauce they give you is fucking ain't too bad. You know what I
See,
mean? Like,
I think everybody should have access to the happy sauce every now and then just to get them through the day.
you know what? Some days you're the hammer, some days you're the nail.
You just gotta you just gotta have a little happy sauce.
Well, you know what? So, ladies and gentlemen, we had an uncle. His name was Uncle Mike, and he was a real nice fella. But he had this fucking nasty white shirt, and it had. You remember this story? It said on this, and he's a again for those who just joined us. We're not the smallest of families. We're tall and big boned, if you will. And
Right.
so he was an extra tall, extra big boned gentleman. And so he had this shirt that just kind of barely fit him. And it said, li- what is it? Sometimes life is the pits. Life is just the pits.
No, no, it was
Or
no,
what was
it
it? What was it?
no, it was like, he'd go we'd say, "Hey, Uncle Mike, how you doing today?" And he'd go, life is like a bowl of cherries. It's the bits."
That's right. Because that was the T-shirt he had too. He was kind of an odd duck, if you will.
He was a good guy.
He,
Our Uncle Mike was a good man. He used to like to take us when we were little. Not when we back in the day in the early mid 60s. He would take us to the mall to look for the girls, but he would take us older kids to get the Orange Julius's,
well,
and
he
we'd
could
sit
stare
there
at the woman.
while he got to stare at the females.
He was a I guess he was a really good guy and all
He
this.
really was.
I,
He
I
really,
I I knew him at differently. I mean, we're about 15 years apart, so it was a different experience for me. But I just remember one time, man. So he ends up marrying this Irish broad who was absolutely
Ri-
she was a fucking nut job.
tell him who she looked like.
Oh, fuck. She looked like Richard Dawson. And for those who don't know who Richard Dawson is, look that son of a bitch up because he's one ugly motherfucker, man. Tell you what. He used to be he was a famous actor in like the 50s and 60s
For Hogan's
who for,
Heroes.
for a show called Hogan's Heroes, and which is a show about like these World War II guys who got who got
We're in the
imprisoned in a
concentration camp.
no, it was a POW camp,
Okay, that's
and
right.
they would sneak out and kind of sabotage the old Germans. But anyway, then he proceeds to be the host for this TV show. Some of you may have heard called The Family Feud, and he was like the greasiest, slimiest fucking host. He'd just walk up to these like women, and this is the 1970s, and he'd walk up to these women and just say, "Hey, darling, how you doing?" Give them a hug and like kiss them right on the lips, like it was nothing. It was like, why don't you take your greasy piece of shit nose and all that shit? He had this weird looking nose, and anyway, so he's just this kind of weird guy. But anyway, his fucking wife looked just like Richard Dawson. And so I remember a couple times. I remember a couple times. Dave, our brother Dave, used to say when in her presence, "Hey, come on down and play the feud," because that was his slogan. Come on down and play the feud. And right in front of her face, he would just say, "Come on down and play the feud," and she would like just stare and laugh. Hee. And in the meantime, Dave's just like, "Oh, this fucking bitch." Well, anyway, Uncle Mike one time goes over to I'm with our mother going over to uh our grandmother Granny and at her house on some kind of this quasi obligatory visit. So because our mother she wanted to be she wanted to be nice and respectful. And doing all that. And so it was like, all right, I get it. I get it. I dig it. But one time he comes over and he's wearing one of his, extra small stretch shirts that is white. And Dave and I are there with our mom and Uncle Mike has this fucking t-shirt on that's barely covering his gut. And on the t-shirt it literally, I shit you, this is no fucking joke. He has a fucking frog with a screw going through this frog's head, like a cartoon frog with a screw going through the frog's fucking. It's like hitting my knee, like, and he's pointing. He's like, "What the fuck is this shirt? What is this shirt?" And and Dave is just staring at it. He can't stop from laughing. And then Uncle Mike goes, "Hey, Dave, what are you laughing at?" And he goes, "Hey, Uncle Mike, what's that shirt for?" He goes, "You like my shirt?" And Dave goes, "Well, it's kind of interesting. You got a screw going through a frog's head, and it's a it's a cartoon frog. Like, what does that mean?" He goes, "Huh, huh, huh, huh. I just thought it was funny, so I bought it from a truck stop." Huh, 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 huh. What? A truck stop, and you seem to think, "Hey, there's a frog with a screw going through the frog's head, and I'll just buy a T-shirt." And so Dave and I are just laughing hysterically like we are now, and he has this big bellow of a laugh. Ho ho ho! Isn't it funny, guys? Ho 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 ho! And we're just laughing our asses off, thinking, "What in the fuck are you doing? What kind of psycho fuck are you that you're buying a T-shirt that doesn't even fit with a fucking frog and a screw going through its head? Like what? What in the hell? Oh, but oh man. And so and so for those who don't know, our grandma, she was a bit of a character too. Oh, I know you probably couldn't imagine. Well, Granny apparently only wanted one kid. So, and she had no problem expressing that apparently to our mother, who was her firstborn, and had no problem saying she wants.
Didn't she? Didn't she?
Well, here I'll get to that. I'll get so wouldn't you know, stories come out later in life like they do that good old Granny uh had kind of accidentally, quote unquote, tripped a few times down the stairs. She was pregnant with Uncle Mike. Apparently, she knew how to tuck and roll pretty good because Mike still came around. He still was born, but she tried to fall down the stairs to get rid of him. So I'm not
Ah,
condoning this. I'm not saying that's right. Oh man. But
no,
she
it's
she
not
did not.
right.
She was a bit of a nut job herself, and so she wanted to kind of see if she could progress that thing along. And mind you, this is 1940s.
Yeah,
And,
he was born in.
and
Mom was born in
yeah,
'38.
oh, yeah. So it was 1940s when she was doing this, and then our granny, by the way, for those who don't know, she, an Irish lady, Irish Catholic mama. I don't know how Catholic she was, but she was Irish as hell. Because good old Granny used to love herself some. What do you know? Some malt liquor. Oh, she loves some malt liquor, especially, especially anything cheap. And her particular cheap malt liquor of choice was this silver can of Thunderbird. She loved her some Thunderbird. She
She loved
said, "Oh yeah, one time I got kicked out of school and as a kid, and we were living with her one time, and or we were living with her when we moved, and Mama kicked our daddy to the curb finally, and so I got kicked out. I was fighting and doing stupid stuff, and
How old were you? Do you
oh
remember?
shit, this is elementary school. I was a
Okay.
hellion. Yeah. So anyway, so I of course, so mom had to go to work, and we're living in Granny's attic, a little fucking. There's like six of us in this attic.
Flowers in the attic.
It was flowers in the attic. Granny didn't like us coming. We'll do more stories. Don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen, of good old Granny in the attic. But Granny was in the middle of the morning. She had a little bit of tipsy of the old Thunderbird, and her lips started loosening up. And so I'm in like, this is probably second or third grade, where she's tipping the bottle back a few, and she just starts talking. And she didn't stop fucking talking. I mean, she was a talker. I mean, I know a stretch from where we're talking here now, but she starts telling me, "Oh yeah, I used to drink castor oil all the time when your Uncle Mike was in my belly." And I'm like, "What the fuck is castor oil?
God.
What is castor oil? I don't even know what that shit is. Is that motor
And
oil?" And
I
she
have
used
no.
to and
I
she
have
used to,
no.
"Oh no, it's this kind of oil that would, help with your stomach." And I'm like, "What in the fuck?" And then she starts telling me, "Yeah, I used to drink that all the time. I probably drank it a little too much."
Oh shit!
Well,
Damn,
what she wanted to do was get rid of good old Uncle
Uncle
Mikey Mike.
Mike.
So Mike, God love him, God bless him. When he so when he was born, because he survived the old trek down the stairs and
Survived a lot.
and the old castor oil, a little too much castor oil. So he wasn't in special ed or anything, but he was just a tad bit slow. I mean, he was a good guy. He worked his
Very
whole
good
hardest
guy.
and worked hard his whole life, but he had he let's just say he
Oh,
had a unique sense of humor and a unique way about him. Let's just say that. I
right.
mean, you had more time with him than I, Kathy, because he was
Right. He
yeah
was a
he
good guy. It's not funny then, but it's funny now when
yeah
one of the last times that I saw him, he came over to mom's apartment. We were all there and I had my two oldest kids. They were just babies um and they were just, kind of talking to him and so mom goes, "Well, Mike, how you feeling today?" And he goes, "I just want to die." That kind of sums up Uncle Mark's Uncle Mike's life toward the end. He just wanted
yeah
he
he
was
did
ready.
he was ready to go to that big old double wide in the sky,
He
man. He
was
was
tired of living with Richard Dawson.
Yeah, Richard Dawson, who, oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, was probably about 5'1",
Right.
and just the meanest, ugliest looking thing. I mean, I'm talking about fucking ugly. This chick was,
She was not a nice woman.
oh, she was a mean bitch.
And
Oh, good
hateful,
night.
hateful, hateful,
Yeah, she was.
hateful,
Yeah,
hateful.
she was a. Oh, good night. But I don't even know how we got started on that one. We just kind of went
I
rocking
don't
and rolling
know.
with
But
it.
hey,
But
but I know that you've got a story about shutting down PBS that I think
oh,
everybody would love to
oh.
hear.
So ladies and gentlemen, as we started on our very first episode, this is our second. We will affectionately call this part of the old podcast the old white trash story time. So for those who don't remember what the 1980s were like, and for those who were broke as hell, like we were, I mean, there's an old saying: there was poor, there was Poe, and then there was us. So
So was us.
I mean, and again, this whole podcast is about, man, making it out on the other side and just having some good old laughs and having some fun. Because, man, as our mom used to say, if you're vertical, you're winning half the day and half the battle. So keep it moving, baby.
That's right.
That's what she used to say. So, I mean, it's just reflecting on hard times that make you who you are, and you get through it, and God love you. You just keep on grinding. So, the 1980s, as Kathy can attest to, as she is 15 years older, she's the oldest and I'm the youngest of our 8 sibling nut job brew. There was only in our house we only had 4 channels, right? It was ABC, CBS, NBC, and PBS. And we were really fortunate to even have a TV in our house at the time. And let's paint the picture of what this TV looked like, Kathy. It was probably 18 or 19 inches diagonal, and a silver casing around all 4 sides. And it had, and again, this might be hard for some of you to understand or appreciate. There was no fucking remote. There was absolutely no fucking remote. It was a manual dial system similar to, imagine like a car radio, where you turn the volume up, but you had to go click, click, click to move the fucking dials on it. And again, we only had 4 stations, right? And so the TV, and how you got those stations, oh no, it wasn't by a wire coming through the wall. It was in our house, some fucking wire hangers with foil on those bastards that you'd have to maneuver right and left, up and down to see which way the clouds were. See which way the clouds were blowing that day to get a good signal, and it wasn't consistent. So imagine you have to stand in front of your TV, go click, oh, I don't want to watch that. Click to your second channel, click to your third channel, oh, your fourth channel. I don't know. What should I, of my 4 options, which one's the best option for me that day? And then you had to, before you even saw what was on there, you had to adjust those fucking antenna wires every time to see what was on that damn channel. So you had to not only turn it, stop,
Right.
but then adjust the damn wires.
Right.
And so, yeah, so it's some good times.
Good
So
times.
good times. And there was the one station PBS, which stands for Public Broadcasting System, I believe. And they're always on, but it's a public broadcasting show. And so to help them stay on the air, they'd have to uh they'd have to do these fundraisers or these telethons, what they used to call. And so what the telethons were is that they'd go live from their studio after like Mr. Rogers or fucking, Sesame Street or whatever, program at night. And they'd have like stadium style uh bleachers, if you will, with tables in front of them or like daises in front of them. And so and in those bleachers, they'd have people sitting there, and in front of them on the tables, they'd have a telephone, and they'd also have paper and pen next to them. And what these hosts would do while that were in front of those folks was to say, "Hey, we really need your support. Public broadcasting is uh, is dependent upon your donations and charity and all this." And so people would call in and they'd say, "Oh, if you give $5, you get a piece of shit, like drink cooler or something. Put on your 12-ounce can of Coke or beer or whatever." And if you gave $15, you get a T-shirt, and if you give $30 or whatever, and the prizes would escalate as the dollar value goes up. So in the summertime, when I'm off and my older brother David is off, we're looking at our four channels and living in the ghetto or the attic of Granny's house. That was a total shit show. And we were like, oh well, let's see what we can do. Let's have some fun. And so the people that would always be manning the phone bank, so you'd have two hostesses, they talk back and forth about all the value of what it takes to put PBS on, and then you'd have a bunch of old like grannies and women and kind of older gentlemen or different kinds of folks that were manning the phones. So as
Yeah.
people would call in, you
Uh-huh.
would hear the phones that would be ringing, and you could see which person they were picking up on the phone line. And so Dave says, "Hey, let's give him a call." And I said, "What the hell, Dave? We ain't got shit to do. We got four fucking channels. We're broke as shit. We ain't got nothing to do." And so Dave calls in, and wouldn't you know, it's this sweet old looking granny that calls in and or that answers the phone. And we hear the phone ring because you could see it. It was live on TV. And he proceeds to say, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, how you doing?" And they could talk, have a conversation on the phone. And then she goes, "Well, hey, well, how much you gonna donate?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna send you a pizza. What's the address to the station?" "Oh, that's okay, honey. We just need monetary donations." And he says, "Okay, well, yeah, well, I really want to send you a pizza." And then she goes, "Oh, that's okay, honey." And then he hangs up, and we both just start laughing, and we're just like, "Oh, ha ha ha, that was so funny, ha 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 ha." And so we're like thinking, well, what else can we do? So we call it back, and we get the guy with the fucking toupee that is just terrible as shit in the row right in front of her. And so Dave calls back and and the guy answers and he goes, "Hey, I want to, how much, hey, how you doing? How much you want to donate?" And he goes, "Hey, I'd like to donate, $50." "Oh, $50. Oh, that's great. That's great. What's your name?" And he'd give some fucking name like, "My name is Tony." "Oh, hey, Tony." And then Dave would go, Or the guy would go, "Oh, Tony, okay, what's your last name?" Now, mind you, there is no credit card. There is no like we certainly didn't have it, but at the time there wasn't you know, you'd pay
A
right there.
PayPal.
Yeah, they'd have to send you a like an envelope. You'd send in a check back, and I know this is hard for some of you, but fucking write a check on a piece of paper, put it in an envelope, and send it back to them. That's how they got their money.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, I'll send you a check." And so what does he do? He looks out the window and he says to this guy with the shitbag fucking toupee on that looks, it doesn't even fool anybody. And he looks at the address and he gives it of our neighbor, and he gives the fucking neighbor's address and says, "Yeah, my name is Tony Johnson and I live at blah blah blah." And he's like, "Great, Tony. That's so awesome." And he goes, "And that's amazing." And then he goes, "Okay, we'll send it to you." We hang up. Fucking we think we're funny as shit. Like, ha ha ha. This fucking derelict next to us is gonna get a fucking thing from PBS saying, "Oh, you're gonna donate $50." Blah 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 blah. And so we're like, "All right." And then we're like, "Hey, let's try this again." He goes, "Hey, Mark, you wanna try this?" And I go, "Why not? Let's go." And I go, and so I call, and I get the person next to the fucking guy with the shitbag toupee, and it's this other guy, and I kid you not, he had this mustache. It was this handlebar mustache, and it went. And if you don't know what a handlebar mustache is, it goes like above your fucking top of your lip, and on either side of your chin. And he looked like he had just gotten done fucking smoking a doob. That's marijuana for some of you folks. Like he had just gotten smoking something and had this long, greasy fucking black hair. And I go, "Hey, man." And he goes, "Hey, what's your name?" And I go, and I'm in a love a little kid voice. I'm like, "I really like Mr. Rogers. I want to give all of my $75 to blah 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 because I like Mr. Rogers." He's like, "Oh, great. Oh, that's cool, brother. That's awesome, man." And we're hearing him saying this, and he's like, "Right on, far out, man. Yeah." And he goes, "What's your name, fella?" And I said, "Oh, my name is Tony Johnson, and I live at 7 blah 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 whatever next door neighbor address." And he goes, "Okay, little fella, I'll send it to you. Yeah, we'll send that to you. Thanks, buddy." And then he fucking the guy on the phone who hangs up. He takes the paper that says, "Hey, man, little Tony Johnson is gonna give $75 from his fucking little piggy bank," and he's 8 years old. And he waves down the host and he said, "Oh, hey, we just got this good donation from Tony Johnson." And the old lady that Dave had talked to, he couldn't fucking hear anything. And then the guy with the bad toupee has a really shit bag, like he couldn't hear because he was on the phone too. And so he couldn't fucking hear the guy next to him say it was Tony Johnson. And then and then the interviewer, the hostess is going back to the stoner who says, "Hey, yeah, little Tony John, that's great." And me and Dave were just having a fucking shit fit. Well, this goes on, and then in the next few calls, we're just making up names and just doing stupid shit. Well, Dave, we're busting a gut laughing. So he calls up one more time, or a couple more times, but one time he gets the stoner guy again, right? And he goes, "Hey man, thanks for calling. How much you gonna donate?" He goes, and Dave goes, "I'm going to donate $100, but I need you to do something for me first." And he goes, "Far out, dude. What do you need me to do?" He goes, "Hey, man, I'm going to donate $100 if you rip that fucking toupee off that guy right next to you." And he fucking hangs up the phone. And the stoner guy has the phone still to his head. He looks over to him and he kind of looks and gives him a double take, like, "What in the fuck?" And he's like, "Oh, I get it now." And he gives this big stoner fucking laugh, and it is just we're busting a gut laughing. So we're doing this off and on for like a couple hours, and then Dave and I'm Dave calls up and gets this lady who, let's just call her Pat, because we don't know if it's a lady or dude, and who gives a fuck? We don't give a shit either way. But this fucking person could have been either way. Who knows? And Dave calls her and gets her on the phone, and he's seeing her on the fucking screen and on the fucking on the phone, and Dave goes, and she because he's had the phone next to me, he goes, and she answered like hello, and he goes, and this fucking person had a deeper voice than both of us combined. I'll just leave it at that. We don't give a shit either way, but like it was fucking gnarly. I remember it was like hello, and anyway. And all the while we keep saying fucking Tony Johnson, and they're not connecting it either way. Like nobody's talk,
Connecting
they're
it
not
at
connecting
all.
this shit at all. And so we're fucking, and Dave goes, "Hey, hey, what's your name?" And I forget the person's name. It was a female name, and she goes something like, "Yeah, my name is Rhonda," and with that fucking baritone ass voice. And Dave goes, "Hey, yeah, I'd like to donate $500." She goes, "$500? Oh, that's great." And he goes, "Yeah, but you got to do something for me first." Oh, what's that? And we're literally seeing this on the screen. It goes fucking live. He goes, he goes, "Hey, if you're a chick, flash us your titties," and hangs up. And the woman just looks pissed. She hangs up, and we can see her just muttering, "You motherfucker, piece of shit." Yeah. And we do this for like every time, like literally, we will keep it on PBS just to see when they fucking have these local fund drives, and then we'll do it, and we're calling up nonstop Tony Johnson, you know, Harry Smith, just and we'd give the same address to our fucking neighbor, and so every so often, we'd see him out and about, and we're like, yeah, hey, what's going on? We're cutting the grass or something. And not much, just hanging out and hanging out. And then Dave, the smartass that he was, he would say, "Hey man, we watched this really cool the show on PBS about tigers or some fucking monkey or an animal or something." And he'd go, "Man, check it out if you see it." And fucking good old whatever slumlord Lonnie next to us, he's like, "Man, those guys keep sending me something for fucking some guy named Tony Johnson about donating some fucking money to them." And I'm like, I don't know why they keep. I just fucking send this shit in the trash, and I just light that shit on fire. Like, and again, this fucking guy, he didn't put his trash out. He didn't believe in that. Oh no, he put his shit in a metal trash can and just light that shit on fire. He didn't give a three fucks about the trash man. And again, we did have the trash guy come through every once in a week. But this guy, I don't know. He thinks he was a Vietnam vet, something. I don't know what the fuck it was, but he just didn't like government or whatever. So he's lighting his fucking trash on fire. So we're just laughing our ass off, like, are you fucking kidding me? And so we're doing this for probably a good at least year and a half, something like that. The time that I know it was longer than a year, about that, but we would set our clock to every fucking time that we knew that they'd have a break in between like shows or commercials, or not commercials, but like the shows or like the segments. We try to call in and just fuck with the people non-stop. Hey, hey, man, did you see that tornado that came through? Hey, and we'd say, one guy was like, "Hey, man, where do you live, man? Where do you live?" And again, this is a time of no cell phones, no internet on your fucking hip, nothing. And it'd be in the middle. So, "Oh, man, a tornado just came through, man. Where'd you fucking Where do you live? Oh, you live on the northeast side? Oh, well, man, yeah, they just said this, and this street. Oh shit! One time, the dude fucking went and fucking left the studio. He fucking left the studio to go call his family. He thought his fucking house was getting ripped off by a tornado. I mean, the shit was. We would fucking harass these motherfuckers, and finally, I don't want to say we took credit, but we'll take unofficial credit. Finally, PBS didn't ever do any fucking
La.
do live broadcasting anymore. They would do or I'm sorry, live telethons. They do fucking fundraisers. It'd be from one station for the entire country, like from Boston or fucking Chicago somewhere. But they never would be live. They never would be live. It was always tape delayed because we fucking tried, Kathy. We fucking tried so many times to fucking get the people on the phone, and we couldn't figure it out at first. Like, why the fuck we can't get these people? And then we figured out because some guy was talking about how he was going to Boston or somewhere. Yeah, he's gonna for like some event or something. Oh yeah, that is this weekend. I'll be there as well. Blah 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 blah. The host said or something, and we're like, oh fuck, these guys took national. So to sum up this story, we've officially harassed and beleaguered the live local of certain Midwestern towns telethon, so that they now had to do their telethons from fucking one location. I mean, it was a fucking hoot, dude. It was a fucking hoot, man.
So how long would you say you and Dave were doing this for? Like how
It
many
was
hours?
at least a year. It was at least
Oh,
one
you
fucking
did it for
year.
a whole year.
Oh, at least a year. Oh, the Christmas time was fucking wild because they'd give away like these little stockings, of like, oh, it's a Mr. Rogers read along book or whatever, and Dave would call in and be like, hey man, I want one of those stockings so I can take a shit and leave it at your front yard. Ah! And just fucking, I mean, we got brutal with it. It was, it was fucking, it was, it was fucking wild. But again, that was our entertainment. We didn't have shit to do, and we're kind of feisty
Nowhere
little
to go.
Irish fellas, and all this, and so it was a wild fucking time, man. So, oh man, it was an interesting time there, Kathy.
That was
Interesting.
awesome. Thanks for sharing that story. And if you guys
And if you guys got any, oh shit, we didn't even do our official. Hey, our email is gvmc.podcast@gmail.com because if PBS wants to sponsor us, or any fucking malt liquor wants to sponsor us,
sure, well,
we'll get her done. That's gvmc.podcast@gmail.com or government Victor Michael Charlie podcast@gmail.com. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and fucking share this with your family and friends because we love to just make people laugh and have some fun times and share our
it'll
goofy
be and
goofy
we'll
shit.
include that in in the notes after this
Oh yeah,
episode.
yeah.
We'll
You
make
can.
sure to put that in the show notes as they say.
Yeah, it'll be in the description, but make sure you smash that like, subscribe, share button to all these people. When I talk about malt liquor and they want to sponsor us, hey man, let's get her done.
We'll
But
get her done.
there is a show, Kathy. I got to tell you, there's a show. I think I mentioned this before when we chatted offline here. We there's a show called fucking Shipping Wars.
Oh
And
God, this
Shipping Wars has this guy named oh shit. Shipping Wars is this guy named fucking Roy. You can Google this is an actual show, and these guys just ship shit from one location to the next. And Roy has it. He's literally like a 4 or 5 pack a day. And in this show, they ship shit and all this stuff, and he is the gnarliest looking fucking dude. And they call him Silver Jesus because he's got this long silver hair, a couple teeth missing, and he's a he's a he's a just a bitter fucking like older guy, funny as shit to me anyway, and 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 when I talk about, hey, well, if malt liquor wants to sponsor us, we can have a conversation. One of his lines where they're talking to him, he goes, "Hey, I'll ship anything that's legal. I'm a whore. I'll do it. I'll ship anything." And he's a fucking just big old nose, gnarly motherfucker. Anyway, shipping wars, man. It's some wild shit. Wild shit, man. Wild shit. It's just some.
Well, I just want to
Oh,
share a quick note on how all of this got started.
oh
Uh,
yeah.
when our little Marquish was born, I was 16, and my mom had just picked me up from volleyball tryouts, right? And of course, I didn't make it again, and I was really upset and bitter in
Yeah,
my,
well, you know.
my sophomore year. So my mom picks me up. She's, "Hey, honey, I'm going to go to the hospital now. I'm in labor. Do you want to go with me?" I'm like, "No. Can you just please just drop me off at
Yeah, I'm
home?"
the eighth kid, so Kathy's been through this, six other times. I mean, so this ain't
Right,
her first fucking
right. Well, I'm
rodeo
the
at this
oldest of
point.
8, right? And so Mark is the youngest of 8. So now that I think about it, it's so funny. But I was this rude little bitch that had just got cut from volleyball, and I just didn't want to mess with it, right? And she was just going to have another kid. So anyway, 2
All
days
right, so we had
later,
some technical difficulties. We're just new at this shit.
myself
So
and my
Kathy was
brother
was
that's a
telling how
year
she was
younger
all
than
bitter as
me,
fuck because she didn't make the
Eric,
volleyball team.
um,
She's the oldest of 8,
or as I like to call him, Enrique
and
Suave.
she
um, I didn't want
didn't
to go
make
to
the
the hospital. We went to go
volleyball
see him in
team
the
and didn't want to go to the
hospital.
hospital
And while
see
I was
me
in
when
the
I was born.
hospital,
So
we were the only two
you
they
know,
got to
2
go
days
see him because we were
later, my brother
teenager.
Eric
And I went
Are
out
you
to see
there?
Uncle Mark, our little Marky Mark. And when they pulled the curtain over, we just stood there and stared at him because he was all bundled up. His eyes were just staring at us. He had this mean mug look on his face, and his two hands were up by his collar, up under his chin, and he had the, "What the fuck did I just get born into?"
what kind of shit show is this? Put me
What?
back in. Let me come out somewhere else.
That I can still see him to this day with this mean mug and not cute. He was just like all
Yeah,
serious.
I look
And
pissed off. The baby pig. I look pissed off. I mean, I was like, "What the hell am I? What is this shit?" I like,
you were pissed
oh
that
yeah,
you got born into the family, and you were the youngest of 8, and God love him. Being the youngest, that's what I try to explain to all my children, that you don't understand. We were born
Hey, folks,
from
sorry about
the
that.
queen of
Sorry about
smartasses.
that.
oh yeah,
The
she
internet
was.
decided to
The
close
whole
down on
family
me.
is smartass. So needless to
Okay.
say, Mark
It,
is the
where did we
king
leave off
of the
at?
I
smartasses.
learned it all from you,
But
lovely.
he learned it from each and every one of us. We
Oh
all
yeah.
contributed in our own way
I
to
don't.
his unique.
Yeah, I'll say I got a lot of smart ass in me, but I don't know, man. Dave's up there though. He used to say like, "Hey man, I'm going to teach you the way of the prick instead of the way of
I
the
didn't want to
Jedi."
go to the
Being
hospital.
that was his thing. It was like his way of being a prick. His way of being that's
So
what he
two
used to
days
call it. He goes,
later, my
I'm gonna
brother
I'm gonna
Eric
teach you,
and
young
I
young one,
went
of
out
the
to see Uncle
being the way of the
Mark,
prick and
our
not the
little
not the
Marky Mark.
fucking
And when they
the way
pulled
of
the
the
curtain over,
force.
we
It's
just
nothing
stood there
like
and
that.
stared at him
Like,
because
all right, well, hey,
he
let's
was all
get
bundled
going,
up.
baby.
His eyes were just staring at us. He had this mean
And
mug
David
look
was
on
all
his
guy
face,
too, like
and his two
100%
hands were
Oh
up
yeah,
by
guy.
his
state
Like
collar,
he
up
champion
would,
under his
wrestler.
chin,
Like he'd fight
he had the,
anybody. He
"What
would.
the fuck
Oh,
did
he
I
beat
he
their
just
didn't
get
give a
ass, and
born
shit.
into?"
yeah, he
He did not give a
he
shit.
did not give
What?
two fucks about anything, but
No, he
he loved his family. That's for
That
sure.
if
He
I
definitely
can
loves his
still
really
family.
see him
did.
to
But
this
as a kid,
day
like he didn't
with
give a
his
fuck.
mean mug and not
He was,
cute.
man.
He
I'll
was
go
just
into that
like
another
all
time. But
serious.
man,
And
these fucking couple of these gangbangers in the hood where we live, or they threatened to kill me and all this and some other bullshit. He goes,
you were
send them over to me.
pissed
I'll
that you
fucking beat
got
their
born
ass. Those big pussies.
into the family, and
They
you were
want to
the
come as a
youngest
group.
of
All
8.
right, come and
And
come
God
get me.
love
Come
him,
you come
Being the
through me,
youngest, that's
motherfucker.
why
So
I
he was
try to
real
explain to all
protective,
my
and he
children
used
that
to
you
even
don't
say to him, he's like,
understand.
"Hey,
We
I'll
were
beat your ass right
boarded
now,
from
motherfucker. You want to
the
try to
queen
fuck
of
with you? I don't give a
smartasses.
fuck." He's like,
The,
"I'll
whole-
beat your
the, the
ass,
whole
you big
family is
pussy." They look at him
smartass.
like, "What?
So
Somebody's
needless
actually
to
threatening
say, Mark
you?"
is the
Oh man,
king
he didn't give a
of
fuck.
the
He,
smart.
especially with his family, he's very protective of his family, and it's
But
one
we
one of the
learned
many
it
things I love
learned
about
it
him. That
from
like
each
he
and
would do
every
fucking
one of
anything
us.
for
We
his
all
family, and
contributed
I just remember he
in
would.
our own way to
Yeah,
his
there's more
unique.
hood stories. You'll have to, you guys will trust me. There's more hood
Trust us.
story. There's more chaos. There's more fun shit. But you know what though? At the end of the day, like we were talking about, we all made it through. We had a great mom that kind of
Right,
stuck through us,
right.
and even through the chaos, you know, she had a sense of humor about it,
She
and
had a great
and
sense of
oh
humor.
yeah, and
As long
so
as you were vertical, baby.
yeah, you were winning half the day, man. So definitely continue to join us in this journey we're doing. Have some fun, and make sure you hit that like,
And David
subscribe,
was all
and
God
share
too, like
button.
100%
Smash the shit out of
God.
all those.
Like he would,
And if you got any good
would
stories, or
please send
please
him.
send it
He
to
didn't
us, and
give
we'll
a
share them,
shit.
and we'll send you some
He did
merch. We're
not
gonna
give
create
a
some
shit.
merch, some
Wilson creates a lot of good merch.
government
You
cheese
know,
merch, and you can send that to
he really did.
gvmc.podcast@gmail.com. That's gorilla Victor Michael Charlie .podcast@gmail.com. And if Thunderbird or there any other sponsors want to sponsor us, please send it your way, because you know what, we're sponsored by absolutely fucking nobody,
No
right?
one.
No one right now. So you want to jump in that pool? We've named off Thunderbird, you know, some other PBS, you know, in a previous podcast we've asked for Allstate, and you know, some others. So hey man, we'll you know, like Roy, good old Silver Jesus Roy from the old fucking Shipping Wars show. You know,
We ain't shy.
we ain't shy. We'll promote that shit. So please, again, continue to like,
Trust
subscribe,
us.
share. Kathy, it is always fun catching up and hanging out
Always
live
fun.
from the basement. And we'll catch you guys
Right,
on the other side.
right.
And good God vibes to you and all your loved ones.
Good
She had a great
God
sense of humor.
Almighty. Have a good
As long
night,
as you were
All
y'all.
right,
Vertical,
see ya.
baby. Please send them. Wilson creates a lot of good merch. No one. We ain't shy. Always fun. Well, good God Almighty. Have a good night, y'all. That was good. That was really good. No, that was good. I like the Uncle Mike story. No, I just always loved it when he would come get us, and he'd toot us around in Fort Wayne in his little convertible, trying to pick up some chicks. That was his thing. He wanted, always wanted to meet somebody. And mom actually told me a story that my godmother, Karen, went out on a date with Uncle Mike, and she came back and told my mom that, "Oh, that Mike, he's just fast. He's too fast for me." Yeah, he was a good man, though. He really was. He had a good heart. He just married a bitch, I mean, he married a stone cold bitch, is what he was evil. Did she did she knock the shit out of him, or were there? He was doing really good too, wasn't he? And that's when he said, "I just want to die." Poor thing. Well, I'm gonna let you go so you can get your food on. And okay, well, make sure that you call. I make or have Danae text me or some if she's up to it. If she's up. Oh man, but man, I cannot believe y'all did that for a year. That's crazy. That was crazy. But Dave, and see, we need to get a hold of Eric so that he can, because he's got stories. I know those two probably did some shit. Um, I know they did some shit. They did a lot of stupid shit. And they probably went, and that's the weird thing about Eric. He just, see, this is what I can't understand about Eric is that he was so fun. Okay, all right, bye.